The Raptors finished the year on a winning note, taking it over the Bucks 121-105, live from Real Sports. Welcome to Raptors Tonight. I'm Randy Irvin, joined by Paul Jones, Sherman Hamilton, Alvin Williams, and a special guest, a very special guest, Jerome Junkyard Dog Williams. How you doing, man?
I'm good, Randy. How you doing,
I'm good. Did you drive your pickup truck here?
You know, I didn't drive the pickup today.
Okay.
But took that private jet.
Yeah. It's like that now, eh?
Moving up in the world. It's like that now, yeah?
You
get paid more as an alumni now?
Yeah, they got this private jet, American Airlines. I'm on sitting out back.
Let me ask you this. What are games like this for players when essentially you know where you're going to play coming playoff time?
Well,
Tough?
It's one of those things where you're kind of moving on to the next phase.
Yeah.
You're already in the locker room thinking about your next team and you know what they possess and what type of challenges that's going to be. But you know, it's about excitement. So this time of year, you know, when I was playing with Alvin and our crew, you know, we were excited. We were excited about being in the playoffs. As long as the team was healthy, you felt like, hey, we're trying to win a championship this year, and just got to, you know, make sure the stars align and things go our way, and you know, we play it out. So I know they're excited in that locker room.
Do you guys think it's important for the Raptors to get to 500, just mentally, just saying, okay, we had at least a winning season?
Yeah, I mean, yes, but at the same time, it doesn't count now.
Right.
It does, like nothing matters now. Like those 82 games do not count. They don't mean anything. They help put you into a spot for seeding, and everybody starts from. There's a new start line. Everybody's starting from the same spot. So yeah, I mean, you know, it was good for the bench guys today, because you never know what happens during a series. A bench guy might have to go in there for 3-4 key minutes because of foul trouble or a turned ankle, and save you and play for a few minutes. So it's good for those guys to be on. But I mean, psychologically, nobody's thinking about the 82 games right now.
Yeah, Sherman, can you get some reps in that will help you? Maybe somebody played some good minutes tonight that might be helpful come playoff time. Does that happen in games like this?
Well, you look
Trent.
at guys like Gary Trent
Yeah.
Jr.
Yeah.
and Scotty Barnes, who have missed some time recently. You want to get those reps in and get the rhythm and, you know, get a feel for it. But, I mean, a guy like Malachi Flynn, who, you know, he rarely gets called on, he's been a true pro, and he gets out there and he does what he's supposed to do. So I don't think there's a time on the floor where you're not one of the key players that it doesn't matter. It matters. You've got to continue to work on it. And I think these guys got some good run today. They may not get called in the playoffs. They may not get their number called. But when they're on the floor, they've got to take advantage of it. So, yeah, key guys need the reps. Gary Trent got his offense going, which was good. Scotty Barnes did what he did. But overall, this team is what they are, and they've got to kind of build on what they have.
Alvin, what did you see there tonight? You were closer. What did you?
Not much. I didn't. I mean, as Jonesy said it, this season's over.
Yeah.
And everything is moving forward. So, and to your point, the team is who they are. You know what you're going to get from the team. You just hope that when it's time to win the most meaningful games, that everyone's together, they play at a high level,
Yeah.
and the game plan is there for that particular team at that particular moment, and you just execute it. But pretty much this game, the Bucks set people out, Raptors set people out, and let's just get through this game healthy and move to the next phase, as you said, JY. Like, the next phase is the biggest key. And when you get to the playoffs, it's not one game that's the same. So you always got to be able to prepare and make your adjustments. And this is going to be a part of it. We're going against the Bulls on Wednesday.
How many games did you guys play together?
I don't know, man. What you think? We got the stats, right? Like,
Approximately.
I don't.
Coming at me hard,
Hey,
eh?
that was a tough question. I was like, I don't know the answer to that.
How many years?
I'll
keep track.
defer to
How
my
many
brother.
years?
3.5 years
3.5
together.
years.
You know, we played. Listen, I came into
3.5
this.
times 82.
Yeah, that's
I don't know how
at
many
least
I don't age.
280 approximately.
Hey,
All I know is this guy right here had to be one of the toughest guards I ever played against in college at Villanova, and then in the pros playing with, because what fans probably don't know about Alvin is that, you know, I mean, today they have, you know, we're gonna rest the player.
Yeah.
We're gonna, you know, hey, like,
Load
sit
management.
out, load management. You know, this guy would have been on load management because he was literally like giving us everything he had each and every day. Couldn't even practice it because, you know, he was gonna look. it was a timer on his wheels. At the end of the day, we knew, look, there's going to be this timer, and he's going to give us what he has. But I remember night in, night out that he gave us more than what he had. You know, and I just, hey, man, do you need help getting back to the locker room after the game? Alvin he be drained, but, you know, the stat sheet would be 28-7.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, we got another dub. Thanks, Book, you know. Because he brought it every night, and that's
Hey, man, you got to
those
bring
are the
J.Y.
memories.
back.
I know.
Those memories.
Don't get that love from
Hey,
Sherman.
come on, they
Jones
don't
like
know.
that.
They don't know what was really going on back in the day. The Dog Pound knows though, and you know, and it's a testament to the throwbacks of yesteryear, but also now you can see what these players are going through having to get load management.
Yeah,
Because
for
now
sure.
it's like, hey, if you want them in the playoffs, because we had a healthy Alvin, like 100% healthy. I mean, that's a whole different ball game. But he was battling injuries all year, and then to get to the playoffs, then to keep playing, that was something that the team was able to rally around. Not just him, it was other players as well.
You guys played 192 games together.
Come on, you're reading off a sheet.
192
Producers
games
got that for you. We
Yeah.
appreciate it though. That's a
Crack
lot of
research,
games.
man.
That's a
crack
lot of
research.
games.
Jake Miller,
Hey,
shout
the
out.
guys on the back, they're doing their job.
Doing their job.
Hey,
Dog Pound.
they are the transmission in the car. They do their job. You just don't see it.
That's right. That's right. Well, Alvin, then, what was a favorite moment that you had playing with JYD? It's probably like a lot.
It was a lot. Like, I say our New York series, the series that the first series that we won as an organization, as a franchise, one adjustment when JY came in the games, he was able to play 3-4 position and brought the energy and all the things. But one thing the Knicks did, they brought Glenn Rice in and put Glenn Rice at the 4, and he stretched the game out. And we combated that by then having JY play the 4. And defensively, like, he just shut that down.
And
But
Glenn Rice could give you buckets.
Yeah,
at that
and he
time.
shut that
But
down.
it was a
big thing.
time when the 4-man was more of a gravity machine pounder close to the basket.
Yeah.
So they thought they were, let's try this.
And it worked because Oak was guarding him, and they
Right.
spread it out, and then that happened. So that adjustment. But what a lot of people don't realize is, and it's not just giving each other props, JY sacrificed his game a lot because it was a much more offensive game. He can handle the ball. I remember him making me fall at Georgetown when I was
Don't
at
talk to him.
Villanova.
Watch yourself.
But that's it. There's no video, so I can say it. But he sacrificed the game a lot. And when you talk about like having roles, it's important to have players willing to sacrifice their games in order to make your team better. And it was not a better example of JY doing that.
Yeah. You guys played in the playoffs then, obviously. You didn't have play-in at that time, but I imagine the intensity and the effort is still going to be the same. What is that actually like? How different is it than the regular season?
Well, it's totally different. I mean, you're looking at, a team, to Alvin's point, 5, 6, 7 games. Mm-hmm. So every game is a new script. Mm-hmm. Because I remember going into the locker room and we've gone in and made adjustments, wrinkles to every play. I remember the Philadelphia series where we're in game 6 and we noticed they were jumping and hedging too far on certain screens or on certain plays where now I can, go back door or do something different. Alvin, they're blitzing your screen and roll with me on the wing, so we'd always have a ducking guy or something with him. Hit Keon on that pass if you don't have a shot. But they used to know, all the guards on my team, when I was setting the screen, I would always hold my screen longer, right? And that gives, defenses nightmares because at the end of the day, my guy is going to be open. So you have to basically either blitz him like they were doing or, he's going to get a shot.
Right.
And then once he gets his shot, now I get the offensive rebound because I've held my screen and now I have a smaller guy trying to box me out.
Right.
So the playoffs are just intensity and it's play for play, and every single play down the floor matters. Every possession matters, and that's the difference that in the regular season that you don't have.
You guys don't think we're going to see the same types of scores that we're seeing now, right? You're not going to see 135, 125. We're still going to grind it out here.
I don't think. I think they're going to be higher scoring that we're used to in general from the playoffs. I don't think we're seeing any 135s because as both these guys have said, the ball gets valued more, possessions are more valuable. There's more selective risk taking and not, it's not a big deal. Like, every possession is important, but listen, at a point, you are what you are, and you play the way you play until somebody forces you to play different and there are adjustments made. I don't think we're going to see any 135s, but the way the rules are now, you could see some 120s. You could see some 116s. Like, I think you're going to see that.
Yeah. Are you willing to stick around for a little bit, or you can leave, you can go. It's your call, man. This is an open discussion.
Getting ready to go back to the dog pound section and eat.
All right.
And eat. But I appreciate you guys having me on the show for sure.
All right, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for having us.
You have
Thanks for
another
being on.
question? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we got one more question if you want to stick around. All right. This is from the YouTube audience, from Sher Khan. If the Raps can get past Chicago on Wednesday, who do you like as a better matchup, Atlanta or Miami?
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let you know what me and Alvin already know.
Okay.
We're definitely not taking Miami, and we're going to go with Atlanta.
All right.
Why?
All right.
They have less people we have to worry about, such as a Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
It's that will. That will get you over in the playoffs, and, Jonesy said it best. It's will, right, Jonesy? And
Sometimes it's more will than skill.
there you go.
Yeah.
So with Jimmy Butler, that guy's a veteran, and he's turning it on now. So we prefer, it's just a dog pound.
Yep.
Everybody say their piece, but Atlanta, we prefer them. Yes.
Yeah.
Iceman himself, yes. We want to see the cold chill of ice.
Sherm, do you agree with these guys?
Actually, Alvin and I on the pregame show had that discussion, and we agreed. He was selfish, though. He wanted Miami for his own personal.
Oh, I want to go to South Beach.
Yeah, he wanted to go to
That's what I
South
want
Beach.
to do.
See,
Alvin
came around.
Alvin
That's it.
unimpacted by the South Beach press.
Unapologetic.
But he came back around and got to the nuts and bolts of it was Atlanta.
Yeah,
It's Atlanta, hands down. Kind of like what JYD is saying. That playoff Jimmy Butler, that's a bad dude, man.
Yeah.
He's a guy who can flat out win games. I don't know if you want to see him in a play-in a one-and-done situation.
Right.
I'd rather deal with Ice Trey shooting from 35.
At Jimmy Butler at his joint too, because now
not
you're
fair.
going on the road, and as much as people may not want to admit, the crowd, all of these things have an influence on the whistle, on player energy. Your role players are better at home, more comfortable. Take all that out of the mix. Not that you're not going to see that in Atlanta, but there's a Jimmy Butler factor that, to me, that's not there.
The crowd is.
And the Kyle Lowry factor, because Kyle can have that team overly prepared, because he knows everything that the Raptors. And Kyle, his IQ,
it's
he
off the
knows.
charts.
He knows the coaching philosophies. He knows everything. He knows the players. So just that little tidbit that he can give Miami Heat is something. But I still like the Raptors versus Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're selfish, though.
Let me be
is
selfish
it-
for
can I-
once. This man
what's
just
it
told
like?
you I sacrificed my knees. Let me get some heat on
What's
him.
it like down there?
I got some
What's it
icy
like
What's
hot
it
down there?
like down there? Yeah, can you?
I don't know.
Can I?
My family here, I can't tell you what it's like now.
Can I come with? Or?
No, you can't.
Okay, all right.
No.
I'll come with you.
You knew that answer before you asked.
Real quick before you go, last thing. They play at home, obviously. The Raptors play at home on Wednesday. You guys both were fan favorites. Does the crowd impact how you play?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. The energy at then the Air Canada Center, now Scotiabank Arena.
Yep.
It was high energy. I'm talking about from the start of the anthem.
Mm-hmm.
The Canadian anthem was just you could feel the energy in the building, the fans singing the anthem, just bringing that ruckus, and and then now they have Jurassic Park and everything else. It's there. It's there.
And the players' output, that impacts the fans as well. So it's a two-way street. They give us the energy and give the players the energy, but if you don't go out there and do what you did, the crowd's not going to get in it either. So it's going to those chairs can turn to boos quickly.
So at home, if you're watching, you're going to the game, be loud. It helps, right? It helps.
Absolutely.
All right.
All day. Dog pound.
Dog pound. There it is.
Dog pound. Yeah,
Thanks, man.
a lot,
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Love
Appreciate
you,
having us
dog.
on the show.
Love you. Good seeing you, man.
Hey, your bill is on Al over
on
there.
Al? Okay.
Yeah, so don't even worry about that.
Send that over to that.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Send it to me. And make sure you 30% gratuity.
Right.
30%.
30%.
Yeah, 30.
Okay. Is that how you do it?
That's how you
I
do
gotta
it.
hang out with you
I'm
more.
on here on your dime.
Sherman, let's break down this matchup a little bit with Chicago. What are some of the concerns when you look at them?
Obviously, they got DeMar DeRozan, and DeMar hasn't fared well so far this season against the Raptors. And I think when you talk about a guy who has pride, who's worked on his game to figure things like this out, he's going to be on high alert because he knows what the Raptors have done to him, especially the chatter around what OG has done to him defensively. So I would say that that's probably your first and foremost order of business. But then on the other side of the court, you have a Zach LaVine who can just go get it. And now if you pay too much, attention to DeMar, you got Zach LaVine doing what he wants to do one-on-one on the other side. And Vucevic can shoot the ball. So they've got some weapons that you'll have to deal with. But I think collectively, the Raptors have the defensive advantage. They have more offensive weapons. They've just got to shoot the ball better,
Right.
especially from three.
Right.
Because they're generating looks. They're getting the right guys to get the shots. Now they just got to go in. And if they can turn it up defensively the way we know they can, I think Chicago struggles against them.
Listen, and you and I talked about this earlier, Randy. No game in November means anything in the postseason. But to Sherm's point, Nick Nurse has schemed well for DeMar.
Yep.
He has always schemed well for Vucevic. Like they run at Vuce. He can turn it over, have passes deflected, panic a little, speed him up. I've seen that. But there are some wild cards. Zach LaVine being one. And you don't want to let like an Ayo Dosunmu or a Patrick Williams.
Kobe White.
Like some of these guys start catching fire. Now you're trying to put out fires everywhere.
Right.
So I think they scheme well for Chicago. They really do from a defensive standpoint. I think they scheme well, and they have to be acutely focused on, you can't see any of these layups and then two guys looking at each other like I thought we were. No,
Right.
you can't think.
Right.
You have to know. And in a game like this, you can't have any of those breakdowns. You can't.
Is there an X factor? I think you can have an X factor in a series, but you can also have it in a one-game, do-or-die game. Is there an X factor in your mind that you think could make a little noise and sway the pendulum in the Raptors' favor?
No, I mean, I think once again it comes down to the mindset. And Jonesy just said it. You got to be on the same page. You can't think. You got to execute. And it's been so many times that the Raptors, you look at them and you're like,
Yeah.
what are they doing? Like,
Yeah.
Why are they playing like that? Why aren't they playing with energy? Or why are they having mishaps defensively? Or why are they taking bad shots? Like, it's just like a lot of whys at times when they're not playing their best basketball. But you talk about somebody, you mentioned Zach LaVine, you mentioned other guys. And you're probably laughing at me for saying Patrick Beverley is somebody
Yep.
that changes the mindset. It changes the approach.
Even if he's not that great of a defender as he thinks he is or says he is.
Whatever he is.
Yeah.
But what he likes to play the role of the villain.
Yeah.
And he likes to play the role of the spoiler.
Yeah.
And I think that attitude is infectious. I think that attitude can impact the rest of the players. We have great players on that side. But I think as a team, that's what I kept saying on the broadcast, it's going to be a mindset game. It's a mentality. How are you going to approach? Are you going to approach this game and saying, all right, if we lose, we're on vacation, we're cool. If we win anyway, we're going to be done soon. Or do you truly believe that you're going to win and continue to advance no matter who you play after? And I think that's the biggest thing. So I trust that the Raptors' mindset is where it needs to be. But I believe someone like Patrick Beverley will have that mindset for the Bulls even at a high level.
He celebrated like he won the championship when
Well,
he won a
it
play
means a
game
lot to
last
him.
year. Yeah.
I like the fact that they have Fred VanVleet in that matchup with Patrick Beverley.
Right.
Like you need somebody who's not going to get
Unbothered.
as rattled
Yeah.
from Patrick Beverley's antics and his in-you type of style of play. But if I was to pick an X factor, I'm looking at Scotty Barnes. Just because of his versatility on both sides of the basketball.
Right.
Somebody's going to have to defend him. And it's going to have to be somebody who's probably smaller than him. It could be a Zach LaVine at times. Can you attack him and put him under pressure, get him to play defense, expend some energy, and still function the way you got to function? I think Scotty can have a big impact on this series with the way that he can kind of have touch points throughout the game and change dynamics in terms of matchups.
That's a great point that you make, because I think we always talk about, well, who are we going to guard? But who's really going to guard Scotty Barnes when he's putting pressure on the other team's defense? Like when he starts the game efficient, effective, with some effort, punching in the mouth first, he's tough, real tough.
I like when he has that aggressive attitude to start, and it doesn't always have to be scoring at the end of that aggressive attitude. It can just be simply getting into the paint. Let's see what happens. I mean, we know Scotty will walk anybody down there and score in the paint. But sometimes when he gets in there, it's the dump off. It's the kick out for the open three. He's just, to me, he's just got to be aggressive early on. And I'm not saying force things, but not lay back as much and try to let the game come to him. Kind of probe a little bit more, see what you can get out of it.
Pascal Siakam, too, has had such a great year offensively that I don't think that Chicago has defenders that can stop him. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, no, they don't. But it's not going to come down to a man-to-man. It's going to come down to what your team is doing. It's going to come down, as you mentioned, the Raptors, they come out with a good game plan to stop a DeMar DeRozan. Whether you have an OG guarding him, but who's on the back line, who's not going for the pump fakes. Just knowing the game plan. So it's not going to be a one-on-one matchup. Pascal's going to own it. But it's about how do you manipulate the game when the double team comes, or if you see a line of defense, how do you get behind the defense? How do you get to your sweet spots? That's going to be the biggest thing. So now both teams have this time between now and Wednesday to come up with a game plan and have a plan B. So it's not going to be one player that can stop Pascal at all.
And to that point, you think about it, Chicago is going to be a better defensive team if you play one-on-one, if you play isolation. If you force that defense to have to get back to the third side on rotation, on ball movement, now they become a very, very different team defensively. And there are guys you can individually attack, but you got to do it the right way. And you can't just come down and let's go one-on-one and attack like that where the defense on the weak side is just looking at you. Get that ball movement. Now you get the rotation. Now you attack one-on-one.
So is this the rotation then, that you got your starters and then you have Precious, Boucher, Trent off the bench? It's 8 players tight? Is that what you think?
I think you got to look at the game. You have to look at what you need. That might be your plan going in, but like you said, do things change with foul trouble? What if you need to change your defense to shut the water off on DeMar or on Zach LaVine, or like you? You have your game plan going in, but don't be rigid. You got to be flexible. I think today was good, as we talked about, for guys like Precious, Malachi, who you might need, Chris Boucher. It was good for them to get some run and have a good feeling going into, the one game sudden death, sudden life on Wednesday.
Yeah, Precious was good. Precious was good today. And I think you can, basketball is so much about confidence, right?
Yep.
You just start to feel better. Your game changes completely different. Like you can miss left-handed layups just because your confidence is down, even though you've done it a million times, right? Even at this level, that happens.
Yeah, no, confidence is key, and it's how do you gain your confidence? And a lot of players, they have confidence, whether it's false or whatever, they have it. It's about getting those opportunities, and then it's about not letting the negative stuff seep into your mind. That's why I said this part of the season is mindset. We know what the Milwaukee Bucks are, and we know who the Chicago Bulls are. We know all the teams in between. How do you approach these games? And from a mindset standpoint, how do you prepare for these games? How are you able to make the adjustments? This is adjustment time. This is professionalism time. So it's just one of those things where, as if you're Precious or if you're Malachi Flynn, you have to be ready when your number is called, but your number has to get called for you to be out there, period. So it's about, you just don't know you just have to be ready.
I know nobody likes to make predictions, but I think the Raptors get it done against Chicago, and I think they go on the road and play Atlanta and get it done.
But, I mean, would you say anything different?
No, I just think
Would you say you take anyone else over the Raptors right now?
Maybe not. I don't know. I just think that they have the personnel, right? I think that they have the ability to get that done. Like, that doesn't seem like a far-fetched situation to me.
Well, it was interesting. we had Precious on the post game. I mean, Alvin's right, but we had Precious on the post game on the radio, and the last question we asked was, because he talked about last year at this time, his first playoff experience.
Yeah.
How he felt they were a dangerous team.
Yeah.
And the question begs, do you feel that way this year? Do you still feel you're a dangerous team? And as Al said, there's a confidence. Absolutely, we're a dangerous team. If we get our stuff together, bring anybody, and we feel we can beat them. And that's the mindset that you have to have.
Yeah. You said it. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I'm just saying, and that's the thing that worries you a little bit when you talk about if you don't have it now,
You're not finding it.
Yeah, if you don't have it now, if we're together, we have our stuff, you're not going to. But the issue is it has to be consistent.
Yeah.
Like you'll look good against Chicago, but if you're not that team, the next game you might just lay an egg.
What are your habits, right?
It's all about your habits. Well said.
Thank you.
Without even saying anything, well said.
Thank you.
During a previous
No.
during a previous show, you said something about having an encounter with Adam Sandler in Florida. Did that happen?
Previous show?
Yeah. No? Oh, thought I heard that. All right.
Swing and a miss.
We got something from Raptors Freak who's watching. Shout out to Raptors Freak. He's a big fan of the show. Happy Easter to Raps afternoon tonight. You guys have done a great job all season long, and us fans really appreciate you. And then he adds, Randy, great job once again. So that's pretty cool.
And stop it.
No, I just
Is that a relative?
No, that's,
Stop.
Is that a
no, I was
relative?
just saying.
That's
like,
your
it's-
handwriting.
This is not my handwriting. That's what's happening.
Write it and then read it and act like somebody else said it.
You do a very good job.
Oh, thanks.
You do a very adequate job.
Traffic cop, I got you.
Adequate.
I appreciate you guys. All right. The Raptors will open at home against the Chicago Bulls Wednesday night. Tip-off goes at, is it 7 or 7:30? Have they decided that yet? I know it said 7 or 7:30.
I got somebody who want to take a shot, man.
Oh, you got
Big
some?
dog. Big dog, you want to take a shot?
You got a little guest?
Take a shot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on in here.
Yeah.
Come take a shot. Come
Who we
on
got
in.
here, Alvin?
See the real shooter in the
This is
family.
Alvin the third right here.
Alvin the third. Come
We got
underneath.
this Fred, come over there.
You want to get up on this chair?
Real shooter in the family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going? You want to hold that?
You want to take a shot, man? What? Who's your favorite Raptor?
Of all time.
Hey. You go ahead. Go ahead. Currently, right now. Pascal Siakam. Okay. Here, take a shot. That's a good. Let's stand over there and take a shot.
What's your name, first of all?
Alvin.
Alvin the third. You weren't joking.
Didn't I just say that?
You thought he was joking? What's wrong with you?
No, where
You're not ending it on a good note.
you gotta stay on the court. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Throw it down. Yeah. Dunking that.
See, that's Philly right there.
66%
That's,
Going to
that's
the
Philly.
rack.
It's too windy to shoot outside. Take the ball to the goal.
75%. Oh, that's better than Dad ever
All right,
did.
dog. All right, big dog. All right, big dog. Thanks, man.
Why you shut off the water like that?
Thanks, buddy. High five.
Shooting all day.
Hey,
Let him
sometimes the only person that can stop a player from going off is his coach.
Hey,
That's right.
That's the power of
There
a
you
coach.
go.
That's right. Is he going to be a pretty good ball player if you're the coach?
I won't be the coach.
Okay, it's like that, eh? All right. As I said, game for the Raptors Wednesday at home. Tip-off goes at 7 or 7:30 against the
I
Chicago
was looking for the
Bulls.
time. I couldn't
they
find
haven't
it.
announced it quite yet.
We'll be here at 5
We'll be
o'clock,
here.
though. We'll be ready to go.
And don't forget, come by Real Sports. Be a part of the show. Take some shots. Alvin will give you some pointers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.